started working 51 years ago. How many more years would you like to do?
It's a lifetime decision. Okay.
I don't think it was
a lifetime
right
decision.
way to do it.
It's a lifetime decision. You made it in 2 months.
We are simple people.
If you had given everyone a year just saying, we're thinking about closing the business.
Do you even think of the ramifications of what you've done?
A heated confrontation this afternoon between parents and the owners of a daycare in the West End that is slated to shut down in 2 months. This notice, Humberside daycare in the Junction, was sent out, leaving parents of some 70 children scrambling to find something in the next 60 days. Now, a difficult decision on all sides, the daycare owners deciding to close, but it shows just how desperate parents are in this city to try and find daycare. Many of the parents we spoke to today are saying that they put their children on the wait list when they were pregnant. That's how hard it is to find daycare in their city, and they're wondering if they'll be able to find anything in the 60 days. They're frustrated, and the owners say they just needed to change.
We're not getting any younger, and to get the program watered down because of our lack of energy is not a nice scene.
It's very difficult for parents because there's no spaces available out there. But I think, responsibility for the spaces available shouldn't be put on us. It's really the responsibility of the government.
We've invested a lot of time because they say you've got to call. That's the only way to get into daycares here. We've applied everywhere else in the neighborhood, but we're not getting calls back from anyone. We have maybe potentially one shot, but now we're up against 116 other families, so it's an impossible situation right now.
How are we setting up success in these neighborhoods? Like, I think the majority of us moved into this neighborhood because of the proximity to everything.
Like I said to my husband, let's move, let's get out of here, let's move to a city that has more affordable daycare and everything else, and a spot available. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to give up this neighborhood.
And the owners of Humberside also own a Montessori. They are planning to open 120 daycare spaces there, but that will be for 2.5 years to 5 years old, not infants and toddlers that are allowed here at Humberside, the regular daycare. So it is a difficult situation. Now, they did give the 60 days notice, and one lawyer we spoke to said that's actually more than the legal requirement. There really is no legal requirement. And as for what's next, we also spoke to an advocate for daycare in the province.
When you usually enroll your child in daycare, there's a contract that you sign, and sometimes the contract says that they have to provide a certain amount of notice before they close to you. Usually they don't, and in that situation, you just have to try and find somewhere else for your child to be enrolled in daycare.
We desperately need a real childcare system that treats childcare similarly to schools. We need public planning, we need to have affordable fees for families, and we need stability that's offered by public and nonprofit services.
Now, Fern says the Liberal government was starting to implement something for daycare. It'll be interesting to see, she says, what happens with the Conservative government when they take power on Friday. As for some of the parents, they fear they may actually have to take leaves of absence to try and deal with their kids as they try and find daycare for them in this tough situation here in Toronto.